okay, at some point I realized that we've been doing this. I've been doing this for 12 years now.
Mm.
And that's sustainable. You know, we are a farm. We are on the same place. We work with the same people. We work with the community. We have to take care of our land. That's sustainable.
This episode is proudly brought to you by Mapper Forward's workshop. It's time to become a coffee consultant. Learn how to diversify your revenue streams and create freedom from your day job while saying goodbye to that alarm clock forever by becoming a consultant within the coffee industry or directly to consumers who have shifted towards home brewing and home roasting. Protect your income from challenging times in the coffee value chain by taking this course today. Go to mapperforward.coffee/workshops or click the link in the show notes for details. Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Mapper Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and this is episode 4 of a fantastic 5-part series with Mark from Finca Rosenheim in Peru. And we are talking about the reality of being a coffee producer today. And we are not talking about this in the sense that this is the experience that every single coffee producer has all over the world. This is Mark's experience of being a coffee producer in Peru today. And so in this episode, we're going to look at what sustainability means for coffee producers. We had a conversation at length about this yesterday, but Mark, why don't you help us understand, for a coffee producer, what does sustainability mean?
So for me, sustainability was like a dirty word before. It was
Really?
Yeah, because I saw it being so misused and
Okay.
so like it had no sense. And I would make fun. It's like, yeah, it's sustainable. It's like, if you see Nespresso using the word sustainability, then you know it's meaningless.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
you see a coffee
Why?
influencer,
Why? Why
because it's
is it?
Nespresso.
No, I think this is important, right? Like, I hope you don't mind that I kind of jumped onto your thought process in there, but this goes to the heart of what this conversation is about. Nespresso are constantly saying how proud they are of their sustainability practices. And we're saying, and a lot of people say this, that sustainability has been greenwashed. Like, people like Nespresso do greenwashing when they say sustainability because it's not real sustainability. I would love to hear your thoughts on why. I'm not defending nor shit talking Nespresso. I genuinely want to understand this.
I'll say, look, a coffee buyer, coffee trader,
Yeah.
they will just find coffee to buy from somewhere and sell it somewhere else.
Okay.
They don't care. There's always going to be some coffee they can find, and they don't care where the coffee comes from.
Okay.
Why Nespresso? Because they just go somewhere and buy coffee, and I see their practices here. And when I give my coffee to World Cafe and the prices that I get negotiated to, I don't think they care.
So they're exploitative? Allegedly. Hold on. Don't answer that question yet. Because that's not a right way to ask that. Is it, in your opinion, that you're not paid fairly, or the kinds of the kinds of offers that Nespresso are making or Nescafe are making is not quite as fair as other places, in your opinion?
No, it doesn't matter. It's back to the C price again.
Okay.
They used to have, in Peru, it's interesting. They used to have the Nespresso prices would be, or World Cafe would be, like the trendsetters for the national market at some point. Then, because the coffee prices went up, it simply became useless, their prices, not because they were not going up. But I don't have experience. I've never sold to them. I've never gotten
Okay.
and it's just not my type of market.
Okay. When you interchange Nescafe and Bon Cafe there, help people who are listening understand why you interchange between those two. So what are they?
Okay, so Vol Cafe is the ones that buy coffee for Nespresso here in Villarrica, for example. They got an office and yeah.
They're the green
And
coffee
they're always
buyer.
trying to get, if you want to sell to them, you have to become a member.
Right.
Yeah. Lee, the thing is, I've never heard for anyone that is happy working with them. So yeah.
Okay. So sustainability. What does it mean to you as a producer?
Okay, at some point I realized that I've been doing this for 12 years now. And that's sustainable. You know, we are a farm, we are on the same place, we work with the same people, we work with the community. We have to take care of our land. That's sustainable. And, you know, for example, I process my waters after we use them for processing coffee. I have to treat the waters before I put them back in the river. And it's not because somebody's going to come and check me or it's going to put a fine if I do something bad. It's because we live here. So we have to take care of this place. And if we don't do that, it's going to stink. So that's sustainable. It's us taking care of the place where we're working. It's not just going and buying coffee. It's because we're here. And yeah, for me, that is sustainable coffee. And I feel the market is always hyped about something else. The market is always new origin, new variety. But I would be hyped for a farm that has, I don't know, 3 generations still in the same place, still producing. And, you know, farms that reinvest in their coffee when the prices are good, when the prices are bad, but we have to reinvest. We have to keep producing. We are already here. We already have these trees. So yeah, that's sustainable. We are sustainable.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that sustainability for you as a coffee producer is about playing the long game and caring about how your actions and intentions impact you in the near term and in the long term, but also how it impacts other people in the near term and the long term. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes. I've heard that people say there's not going to be coffee in the future, but I think there's always going to be coffee, but these cycles of good prices, bad price, you know, if prices are good, they will come and they will invest and they will go deeper into the Amazon jungle and find some land and plant coffee. But that is not what I think we should aim by expecting coffee to be sustainable.
I would disagree with you.
Okay.
And respectfully, very respectfully though, because I think that we have an element that is different than before. People keep saying to me, but you know, this is the way that cycles go, Lee. We have a different element of this cycle that is unlike what has happened before, and that is the consumer. The consumer will no longer be able to absorb any more. They're being squeezed from so many other places now. A beer in Australia, just a schooner of beer, is $14 now. $14 for a schooner of beer. So, and that's not including that rents have gone up so ridiculously now that the average 2-bedroom apartment is almost $1,000 a week. Cost of living is up month on month, 1%. So it's gone over. It's almost at a 4% year on year inflation. And so consumers in Australia, and that's just using Australia as an example, America, same. Here, same in the UAE, the consumer is having to absorb so much inflation from so many different places. And my big concern is that we, as a very insecure, empathetic, what seems to be expensive hobby while also being a public service of an industry, we're always the last ones to raise our prices. Because for some reason the consumer thinks coffee should be cheap. And so by the time we get to increase our prices, what I think you find is the consumer spent all their extra money on the inflation that came with the beer and with their lunch and with their increase in meat and the increase in rent. There's nothing left for coffee. And because it's like we should have been increasing our prices when the economy was doing well. I don't know. I hope big time that I'm wrong. I don't think I am though. But I really hope that I am.
But I mean, yeah, it just sounds like there's no solution because prices are going up over there and prices for us to produce is also going up. So yeah, coffee should be more expensive.
Say that again. So if coffee over there is, but no, that's the problem. The coffee on the other end of the supply chain, the reason it's not going up is this one specific thing that I don't think that we've done justice by talking about on this podcast. There is on the consuming end this one major problem that needs fixing, and it's going to be painful to fix it. We have oversaturation in the market. We have too many cafes and too many roasteries. And because there are too many cafes and too many roasteries, what ends up happening is a new cafe enters the market or a new roaster enters the market. And what do? They say, well, I know how, my job as a new brand, I'm going to have to invest money and invest money and invest money to capture market share. The best way to do that is to price my product cheaper than my nearest competitor. And so they spend a whole bunch of time doing that, in the process, putting people out of business.
Okay.
2 years into that process, somebody else comes along and does the same thing. And now we've been doing that for 20 years in a row. And now we are where we are. Post-pandemic, way too much free money injected into the system. And we're in a bit of a bubble. And so go ahead.
No, it is just like that we keep being asked if we have cheaper coffee.
Yeah.
Everybody wants. Yeah. And it's like, and how about your second quality coffee? Can we buy that? Everybody wants cheaper coffee.
Right. And so this goes to the heart of sustainability, right? In my opinion, the thing that's undercutting the sustainability of our green coffee in our industry is the dysfunctional behavior that's happening at roasteries and at cafes where we have oversaturated markets. The only competitive edge that people seem to think that they can have is by getting cheaper coffee. What is that doing when you guys as producers are constantly asked for cheaper and cheaper and cheaper coffee? What does that do to the sustainability of your business?
I get asked if I have cheaper coffee. I'll never offer it. It just is not incentive for us to reinvest, right?
Does it scare you or make you nervous?
Not because of the position that I'm in, because of the client that I have, the relationship that I've achieved. I think we are not in that position. I've seen when the prices were low, I've seen, for example, from getting from the city to the farm, from the town to the farm, it used to be all coffee plantations. Right. Now there's none. They've been abandoned. They've been left. They're turning the land into lots for living. So I've seen so much abandoned coffee because people are not stupid. If the cost of producing is higher than what they're going to get, they will do something else. People will do something else.
And I need to say something right there. Many people say to me, and the clip that is on social media from the series with Madeline, where I talk about an SCA board member saying that things aren't as bad as what I have been saying on this podcast. Mark, what you just said there was that the road that you used to take to come to the farm used to be covered in coffee farms, and now
Yes.
they're all gone.
Yes.
That's pretty bad. That's the reality of the situation. I don't make this shit up, folks. Like when I tell you that I get this directly from producers, when I tell you that we are in crisis, that right there is a crisis situation. It is not made up. I met Mark for the first time yesterday. Right? Like
there has been some people going back to coffee now that the prices are higher. You have to understand, if coffee has been abandoned for years, it's not going to start producing efficiently the next year. So it needs around 2 or 3 years to like renew the trees or for a new plantation to start working.
Better soil.
So yeah. It's a lot of investment. Coffee needs a lot of maintenance work on the off season. When it's not harvest, we are all the time working on cutting the weeds, trimming the shadow trees, trimming the coffee, spraying for coffee rust. There's so much work with coffee. It's really intensive.
So in the next episode, we're going to talk about the uncertainty that comes with running a coffee farm. And what we are going to do during that episode is we are going to drill deeper into this idea that coffee is going away. Because people keep asking me, is coffee going away? Producers keep saying to me, I hope coffee goes away to teach people a lesson. And then there are some other producers that say to me, Lee, for the first time in my career, I think that coffee might go away. So join us for the next episode, folks. This is going to be really interesting. Last episode of the series. Peace, love, and peanut butter. Have an amazing rest of your day. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, friends. Please don't forget to show us some love by subscribing, liking, commenting, and most of all, sharing this podcast with your friends. Check the show notes for links, including our sponsors and our Patreon, and stay tuned for more great conversations on the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward.